Hey everyone, this is Brandon from Galaxy Doc Market. This is one of my segments where I rant, and not necessarily a technical analysis video, but once in a while, things make me so disgusted, makes me so viscerally ill about what is going on and how it's not about fairness, but about how out of control this banana republic of ours is at this time in the stock market. The title is GameStop GME a pump and dump scheme? Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill, is he exposed? Is he truly your savior for the average guy? Today is June 3rd, 2024. It's approximately 12:05 p.m. as I make this. Here's the disclaimer. Please read it, pause it. If you agree, please move forward. And obviously, I've been pretty active on the Twitter, and so thank you for all the followings. And check us out. There's some good stuff here and things that I can't, expound upon outside of our membership group or on the YouTube video. So please check this out. So basically, hold on one second. Now that's better. Sorry about that. But basically, I've been active in the Twitter space or x.com. And, it really is true. I mean, when everything is rotten to the core, rotten stock trades happen. And unfortunately, what happens is this will suck in the retail traders that are looking for a quick buck, that don't know any better, and they're looking for another scheme. And this happened not less than 30 days ago when news came out of Roaring Kitty coming back to the Twitter space and getting active in the markets and publicly talking about GameStop again. And so here is something that that we're talking about. And this is targeting you, the average retail traders that basically take everything that this guy says as gospel and publicly stating certain things about his account and with the effect of trying to pump his way into profits. Okay, this is not anything that's good for you. It's trying to create retail bag holders. So one thing that I noticed in the morning at the pre-market, and I posted this on Twitter, x.com. If you want to follow me, it's at Galaxy Doc Market right up here. And one thing interesting is that these outsized volumes that are greater than even regular normal trading volumes, and these are institutional volumes, folks. It's not retail traders that are coming into this. This is who knows who it is. Okay, I'm not even sure if Roaring Kitty has this much pull, but the issue is that every time it pumped, there was massive distributions going on. These are all distributed volumes, okay? And not only that, we're beginning to see the pump and then slow, gradual decline along this trend line, all right? And so what this tells us is that this is a classic pump and dump scheme. And not only that, what's happening is it's sucking in the poor retail traders, okay? And so what I've talked about before was that when this first happened about a month ago, when news of Keith Gill or Roaring Kitty coming out, and I said this is not going to end well. And if you want to see what I've done, you can follow on the x.com. And we were right, okay? And you really needed to fade that trade. But even then, maybe just completely stay out of it. But this pump on the news of Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty coming in, basically was probably designed to create the pump where he could unload right here and then buy it back down here around the $20 mark. And I'll show you. And there's a good theory coming around because if you look at his positions, okay, it wasn't $5 or $8 where it used to be, where he supposedly got rich, trying to do these pump and dump schemes. It wasn't out down at these levels. If you go way back when WallStreetBets started, you can see what his cost basis was. This is a clear indication that how he can have $200 million account was that the news pumped it up. He sold probably calls and his entire stake and then probably bought it back here. Just conjecture. I'm trying to understand this just like the rest of you. But from my experience, this stinks of pump and dump. So what I said was, okay, it's going to pump around to 42. Are we going to dump back down? Currently, that's looks like what is happening. And so this is what I talked about 3 hours ago when the market opened. And so that's my theory. My theory is that that he sold all his shares and then bought it back and then is trying to pump it back up again. Okay. How is that helping the average retail traders? And not only that, how is this not insider trading or market manipulation or pump and dump scheme? Okay. SEC, where are you? I mean, isn't this what you're supposed to help the little people? Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Let's look at deeply what's going on. So this is my stock charts, on the daily, and you can see that even that on that pump, we're forming this downtrend. Okay, and I think that the 42 area pre-market is probably the overhead resistance. So I'll draw a line through there. It couldn't even get above there because the pumping and dumping started pre-market at excessive volumes that we haven't seen before in a while. Okay, so this is where it's basically being pumped into. Okay. And right now, as we speak, we're down into the 28, 27 level. Here's the gap. Do you think this gap is going to get filled? Or you think that this is a sell off and then they're going to push this thing higher? My guess in all of these that are happening is that this is another pump and dump scheme. Okay. And why is SEC not investigating this? And then, of course, there are other shenanigans going on with market issues and NYSE, with Berkshire Hathaway losing 99% of their pricing. This is signs of instability. This is when all the ghouls come out and take advantage of everybody, right? Especially you, the retail traders, right? And so that's important. But, everything now is pointing towards, it basically manipulated all the indicators to show that a rally is imminent. And those of you who rely solely on indicators are going to jump in on this. And how many of you did that, right? Because before all this happened, GameStop was having on the PPO ADX very bearish formation, and then now people are jumping in going, oh, it's beginning to form a bullish form. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's actually the case. I think this little blip is going to continue on. We do this and then start coming back down. Okay, and look at the accumulation and distribution. Why, if this was such great news, are we not bouncing higher above this level? Okay, why is there still a divergence? Okay, so these are the questions that we need to be asking as instead of jumping in just because taking what Roaring Kitty's doing as a gospel. All right. So I mentioned to you, we talked about this distribution that's going on. So let's see what's going on in real time here, shall we? So guys, this is real-time 1-minute chart as we're talking about this, okay, on the my Thinkorswim platform. Okay, we talked about these sell-off volumes. These are distributed volumes, right? And I said that towards the end that while the volume is waning, the sell-side volume is just incredible. Look at this. They sold to you. Okay, how's this legal? I mean, it's bad enough that our Congress people are buying up stocks, probably on insider information. Okay, that's another topic. I don't want to get too political. But it's bad enough that this market, our country's market, stock market, which is supposed to be based on supply and demand, is doing this. This is my rant. Okay, how is this allowed to continue to happen? And how long are you going to be victimized in this? Okay, so not only that, let's look at this. Okay, if you start drawing this, and you remember my phase 4 impulse theory. Okay, here's phase 1 to the downside. Here's phase 2 to the downside. Okay, if you want to, like I said, I'm just doing this. Okay, and here's phase 3. Let's say this is phase 3. Then that means that we have the phase 4 impulsive sell-off happening here. And this is the strongest one. It's headed straight back down, folks. All right. How many of you retail traders jumped in on this instead of shorting it? Okay, or not even that. I mean, just stay out of it. This is just insanity. The only people that probably win on this are going to be options traders, market makers, right? All right. Don't even ask me what we did, but as principle, we were looking at this. Okay. So, I mean, this seems to come at a time when there's geopolitical instability. There's questions as to what's happening with our country with the GDP slowdowns. Runaway inflation, market data not coinciding with what the consumers feel at the ground, boots on the ground, your everyday trenches, middle class level. I mean, if you haven't gone shopping for groceries, $100 gets you nothing. Okay, and these flash crashes and glitches are happening. If you don't believe me, let me show you what's going on in the Twitter space. okay, as we speak. Okay, so here we go. I mean, it just keeps coming in and in, right? This is the Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, they've recovered, but it's not so much that the Berkshire Hathaway lost 99%. What's happening is these flash crashes aren't just relegated to Berkshire Hathaway. Weird stuff are happening around GameStop, Berkshire Hathaway. These have all recovered, okay? Remember what I always say. Look at what they do, not what they say. They're saying, oh, everything's fine. It was just a glitch, right? Okay, the glitch. Okay, so everybody's up in arms about this situation, but this is a signs and symptom of something much more sinister, I believe that's happening. And it's designed to suck you in, the retail traders, into this situation. Now, they are related. These are not unrelated, okay? And I told you about my McClellan Summation Index, oddly pointing down and confirming, while everybody is looking for a rally into the summer, right? And so be very careful about this, because as we're looking at this, if you look at the SPY, okay, right now as we speak, and we talked about this a little bit before, let me bring this in. This is kind of in real time as we look into this, all right? You got to pay attention to what they're doing, right? They made you look like there was I talked about this in my weekend video, that they're going to bounce this, that the bull market has started. If we basically take out the bottom end range of that candle and start breaking down into the close, guys, we have a sell-off on our hands, okay? And the question then becomes is, what is the deal with Roaring Kitty, right? Was he not the champion of lesser people sticking to the man? Or is he actually working with the Wall Street banks to create this pump and dump scheme? Regardless, greed might be getting to the best of him at this point, okay? And money changes people, all right? So that's what I have to talk about. As I leave, retail traders, please do not FOMO into this, okay? This is designed to take your money while they dump to you, okay? A month ago, they pumped and dumped AMC and GME. They tend to move together, and they basically sold shares into that, right? And same thing is happening. Have you ever been into a GameStop store lately? Okay? And then that's all that needs to be told, okay? This is a company that is basically a shell of a company. I don't know if you remember from the dot-com days, an incubator company called CMGI. And if you don't know, for brevity of this segment, my presentation, go Google it. Google what happened to CMGI, okay? Okay, now, do not become next exit liquidity, because a lot of you have become, right? You guys just couldn't see straight and then paid 200, 300% IV and just went long on your calls. You got to know how to trade options, right? You can't just willy-nilly go directional, okay? Let alone, you have to be able to see through this. Roaring Kitty and GameStop should be ashamed of themselves, okay? This is blatant manipulation, complete erosion of the public trust, and complete just shellacking of the unsuspecting, what the market calls dumb money. Dumb money is you, me, you. That's what they think of you in this market, okay? So we know that SEC's job is to protect investors. Where are you guys? Okay, what are you doing? All right, shouldn't you look into this? Because it's not that, I hate GameStop. I used to actually be, I video game too. I used to shop there. It's not the same store. The vibe isn't there. There's no community there, okay? It seems bankrupt, right? And yet, we have guys like Roaring Kitty and the stock market taking advantage of desperate middle class, unknowledgeable, or basically prone to emotional actions, and then using them as exit liquidity. Anyways, that should be it. Please be careful, all right, on this. I think it's going back down. And follow us at Galaxy Doc Market at Twitter, x.com. Like us, share us, and above all, comment, please. And thank you. And let's subscribe, right? We got some subscribers going on, and I hear you guys, and I'm trying to do my best. And also, if you want to learn how to work with me or join our community, email me at coachbrandon@protonmail.com, or click on the links at the description below about the websites and things like that of that nature. All right? Otherwise, let's get some alpha. Let's go.